While opponents view beauty pageants as symbols of decline, others argue that they can be platforms for empowerment and self-expression. Supporters highlight the opportunities these contests provide for personal growth, public speaking, and community involvement. It is essential to foster a dialogue that explores the potential positive aspects of beauty pageants while addressing concerns about objectification.
Online shopping environments offer unique advantages that traditional brick-and-mortar stores cannot match. One of the most significant benefits is the ability to create highly interactive retail interfaces that can be customized to individual preferences. This level of personalization can enhance the shopping experience and improve customer satisfaction.
Research published in the Journal of Neuroscience suggests that happy sounds, such as laughter, are infectious. When people hear these sounds, their brains activate the promotor cortical region, which prepares facial muscles to move. This may explain why laughter and other happy sounds can spread so easily from person to person.
As technology continues to evolve, so will telecommunication, the development of 5G networks, the Internet of Things Aloud, and other emerging technologies promise to transform the way we communicate and interact with each other. The future of telecommunication is full of exciting possibilities and endless potential. As advancements continue to be made in neuromorphic computing, the integration of targeted magnetic waves and other innovative techniques holds promise for creating more efficient and powerful systems. These developments could revolutionize various fields, including robotics, image recognition, and natural language processing. The future of neuromorphic computing is bright and full of exciting possibilities.
Smiling is a universal sign of happiness and positivity. But did you know that it also has a physiological effect on the body? When you smile, your brain releases endorphins, which are natural painkillers and mood boosters. This may be why smiling is so contagious and can have a positive impact on those around you. A potentially more sustainable choice in rice cultivation could be the development of a new rice breed that combines the traits of an annual Asian rice variety and a perennial African rice variety. This hybrid rice has demonstrated impressive performance, producing grain continuously for 8 consecutive harvests over a span of 4 years. The world around us can pose a danger, especially as travel and recreational activities become more common. This means that people are now at a greater risk of encountering life-threatening situations. While the human body can adapt to some degree, it is not equipped to handle toxins or long-term exposure to extreme environmental conditions.
Artistic expression has been a powerful form of communication throughout history. From the Romantic movement to the present day, artists have sought to convey emotions and connect with their audience. Whether through visual art, music, or performance, artists aim to evoke a range of responses, from joy and inspiration to introspection and contemplation. Cultural identity is shaped by a variety of factors, including social norms and values. To maintain cultural integrity and function, members must conform to these norms and values. However, conformity can also limit individual expression and creativity. Balancing cultural conformity with personal identity and autonomy is a complex process that requires ongoing negotiation and reflection.
In multi-generational households, cultural engagement can be influenced by the diverse interests and preferences of family members. For example, grandparents may introduce their grandchildren to traditional cultural activities, while younger family members may introduce older adults to new forms of cultural expression. The dynamic interplay between generations within a household can create unique opportunities for shared cultural experiences.
Positive parenting practices have been linked to improved child outcomes in a range of areas, including academic achievement, mental health, and social skills. Positive parenting involves establishing clear rules and boundaries, providing emotional support and encouragement, and fostering open communication with children.
Public art has the power to transform communities and enhance economic stability. Art installations, murals, and sculptures can attract tourists and visitors, creating a vibrant and culturally rich atmosphere. Additionally, public art can increase foot traffic in commercial areas, leading to increased sales for local businesses.
Preserving historic buildings and landmarks is not only important for maintaining a community's identity but also for enhancing economic stability. Historic preservation attracts tourists who are interested in the unique character and history of a place. Visitors are more likely to spend time and money in areas with well-preserved historic buildings, contributing to the local economy. A comprehensive disaster preparedness program is being launched to enhance community resilience and response capabilities. The program includes initiatives to educate communities about potential hazards, develop emergency response plans, and improve communication systems for timely warnings and alerts during emergencies. The initiative also focuses on developing disaster-resistant infrastructure and promoting sustainable land use.
The government is proposing a new initiative to address the issue of air pollution in urban areas. The initiative aims to identify and mitigate the sources of pollution, reduce the impact of air pollution on public health, and improve air quality in cities. This program will require collaboration between different stakeholders, including government agencies, businesses, and citizens.
Using GDP alone as a measure of nations' wealth only tells you half of the story. Bigger and more populous countries have a distinct advantage, since they have more workers to produce more goods and services. The only way to make an apples-to-apples comparison is to calculate each country's GDP per capita. The Federal Reserve is not funded by Congress. Instead, it's funded by the interest earned on securities it buys, plus fees it receives for services it provides to banking institutions, including check clearing and fund transferring. All net earnings of the Federal Reserve banks are transferred to the U. Treasury.
There are several variables for calculating the distance a person can cover in 10,000 steps per day, including their height, stride length, and physical ability, as well as the terrain. You can use a step count goal of 10,000 average daily steps as a personal activity benchmark to promote accountability and healthy habits in daily life.
Shortages of certain products, like meat or toilet paper, are certainly annoying and inconvenient. That said, people can live without them, so it's not such a big deal in the grand scheme of things. However, the baby formula shortage of 2020 is pretty scary stuff for parents of infants, not to mention adults who have medical conditions that require such products to survive.
Brown is the most common eye color in the world. Between 70 and 80% of the world's population have eyes that are some shade of brown, from the darkest dark brown to light brown. It's thought that all ancient humans living 10,000 years ago or more had brown eyes. Medicare was created in 1965 as a safety net health insurance program for older Americans. All Americans over 65 years old qualify for Medicare health coverage regardless of pre-existing conditions, and Medicare covers a significant portion of the costs of doctors' office visits, treatments and surgeries, and prescription medications, although Medicare recipients also pay annual premiums and out-of-pocket costs. Our ears are highly sensitive to loud noise. Even very short exposures to high-level sounds that's anything above 132 decibels can cause permanent hearing loss for some people. That's true even if it's just a brief blast. A single gunshot or fireworks explosion can cause immediate damage to the ear. Countries that are members of the United Nations are obligated to report cases of unusual diseases that have the potential to become global health threats. In May 2022, more than a dozen countries in Europe, the Americas and other regions of the world that had never before had cases of monkeypox started to report cases occurring within their borders. How mosquitoes seek out and feed on their hosts are important factors in how a virus circulates in nature. Mosquitoes spread diseases by acting as carriers of viruses and other pathogens. A mosquito that bites a person infected with a virus can acquire the virus and pass it on to the next person it bites.
You both give the company's initial investors a chance to make a return that justifies the risk that they took in backing it early on. Their own shares stand to grow in value as they become worth the price that they're trading on the stock market. And the legions of investors who buy shares in the newly public company stand to watch their stake rise quickly in value as well.
In cold weather or during startup, water vapor present in the exhaust system can create white smoke, while blue smoke might be an indication of a different issue. Exhaust emissions, a natural byproduct of the combustion process, are typically harmless as they dissipate quickly once the engine warms up. That new baby smell could also serve an evolutionary purpose, for example, to help a mother identify her baby more easily. Similar to how babies can identify their mothers by smell almost immediately, several studies have shown that most mothers can identify their babies by smell alone. It may also help a woman bond to her baby.
The origins of sushi can be traced back to ancient China, where the preservation of fish was a necessity. During the 2nd century D, the Chinese began fermenting fish by wrapping it in rice and allowing it to ferment over time. The rice was discarded, and the fish was consumed. Sushi made its way to Japan in the 8th century, introduced by Buddhist monks who used fermentation techniques to preserve fish.
The earliest speakers of English spoke Old English. It developed in a turbulent period of British history. This was just after the Romans had left Britain, around 1600 years ago. The Romans had colonized Britain, but they abandoned the country in the 5th century because the Roman Empire was collapsing all around them. The risk of hitting a deer varies by time of day of the week, the monthly lunar cycle, and seasons of the year. These accident cycles are partly a function of driver behavior. They are highest when traffic is heavy, drivers are least alert, and driving conditions are poorest for spotting animals. They are also affected by deer behavior.